Now what we're doing here is we're trying to check the pH level on this, so we're going to switch this over to pH. And we're going to put this in, sink this down in this dirt right here by this blueberry bush. Blueberries will thrive if you put them in the soil between 4.5 and 5.5 pH level. The lower the number, the more acidic. The higher the number, the more alkaline. This number right here is just not acceptable. It's only 7. I'm gonna go fix up some water, rainwater, and a little bit of vinegar. Bring the pH level down. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's been in here a minute or two. It's just barely dropped below 7. Typically the soil around here is between 6.2 and 6.5. It's a little high right here. If I had to guess, that's probably why most of them blueberry plants my father tried to put out here and my brother put out here, probably why they died. This has already dropped down to just above 6. It won't hurt it to have some more of this water. That has already dropped below 7. This plant's done really well. I'm happy with it. The Patriot Blueberry is next. This is azalea, camellia, and rhododendron granular plant food. It is organic, and it produces more flowers, guaranteed, according to package. We're just gonna take some of this fertilizer and we're gonna fertilize. Now this is a 40 plus year old blueberry bush here. We're just gonna throw some fertilizer in there amongst it. I try to do this every month, first of the month. I had to get a new bag of fertilizer. But I will tell you this, it has seen a lot of growth this year. Had a lot more new growth than it typically has every year. I'm just spreading it out, really. I'm gonna let the rain water it in whenever it rains. But azaleas, camellias, and rhododendrons, they like acidic soil. I've closed it up. I'm gonna put it back in my truck, and we'll wait for next month before we do it again. We do this every month. Try to do it at the first of the month. Hey y'all. We're sitting here in August. It's time to prune those 40-year-old blueberry bushes. They've been here a long time. Some of those canes are mighty woody. So it's time to cut them back, make room for new growth. Now there's two schools of thought on pruning blueberries, at least these old ones. One would say that you cut them all down, cut them all back. Other one says not to shock them too bad, to go through and cut about a third of them. I tend to lean towards that third at the moment. If it don't work real well, we may consider after next year pruning back, getting it all down to the ground. Always wait till after harvest season before you prune. Give that time for all that growth that's on there to produce something. I want to take stuff like that off. It's damaged. It's not going to be able to perform as well as it could. Now you see all this new growth though. We're going to take that one off right there. Well, I'm finished pruning that one. I probably pruned a little bit more than a third, but I tried to leave as much new growth as I could, and there's a lot of it on there. Those will provide some beautiful, sweet, big blueberries next year. Now it's time to focus on this one. This one may be a little different because it doesn't have the same thick growth on it. I'm gonna try to take some of the older, woodier canes on it and cut them out. Just make room for more newer growth. Now this one right here has had some damage from the fall of the sweet gum tree. And plus you can tell it's as woody as it is, and that's old growth. We're gonna get rid of that. I expect we'll get rid of that. It's obviously damaged as well. There's a lot of new growth in here. There's also some stuff growing up in the middle of it. We're gonna have to see if we can't take those out. On this second blueberry bush that my grandfather planted, I did a little bit differently than that first one. That first one I was focused primarily on taking off a lot of that old wood. The wood that some of it was damaged, a lot of it was real thick. I wanted to leave new growth so that it can go through and produce some big, sweet, and abundant blueberries this next year. We have fertilized, put fertilizer out. I believe you might refer to that as ericaceous fertilizer. You know, it's for acid-loving plants like azaleas, rhododendrons. Anyhow, on the second blueberry plant, we did things a little bit differently. Most of those canes coming up off of the second one seemed to be in pretty good shape, but there was quite a few things growing out amongst, you know, the blueberry canes. We had some smilax. We had something that I believe was probably a sweet gum tree, a couple of those growing up in the middle of it, stuff that would take, you know, steal the nutrients, or stuff that would take away some of the nutrients that the blueberry bush can take advantage of. Anyhow, we did cut a few of the damaged canes back, basically eliminated the stuff that didn't belong. You remember that thing, I don't know, it might have been Sesame Street, said one of these things is not like the other, one of these things just doesn't belong. Well, we played that game today, and we got rid of the stuff that didn't belong. I may have missed some of it, but there was some smilax out there. My brother calls that the devil's weed. We did our best to eradicate that smilax in the middle of that. It'll come back, I know that already. But we'll go back and keep trimming it back, a little at a time. I don't know what's going to be more persistent, the smilax or me.